We're live from Pittsburgh. Let's see. One day out now. Mm-hmm. Cam got in about an hour ago. We have a questionable Airbnb. But yeah. Pittsburgh.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. No, it's always nostalgic coming back to Pittsburgh. I was texting Andrea the last time that I flew into Pittsburgh International Airport. We were leaving, or the last time that I was at Pittsburgh International Airport, can't crop that. Last time that I was at Pittsburgh International Airport, I just proposed to Andrea. So, Andrea turned pro here. My family's from here. I proposed to Andrea here. I got engaged here. A lot of meaning behind the city. So hopefully, knock on wood. Here we go. Boom. We'll be adding another pro to the roster, and then I have to get another tattoo. No, yeah. So I have I don't even know what side on. I think it's on this side. I have tallies for every person that I turn pro.
Nice.
So we have black for tallies, people I turned pro, and then red for pro wins. So got to add to that.
Where's it at?
Right behind my ear, so you can't see it. But yeah, I went to the tattoo artist and I was like, yeah, I want a line right here, and she's like, what?
Yeah.
All right, $80. I was like, fuck me. Okay, you got me. But yeah, so we're here in Pittsburgh with Sean. Lucky enough to have Cam here.
Woo!
And we'll be doing this again in. I thought you were giving me. I thought.
Can't make a promise when I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. But a new crib.
No, you're good. I'll grab it after.
These floors.
Quarter turn to right. Quarter turn to the right. Shoulders up. There you go. Glutes. Quarter turn to the right. Front. So basically I'm gonna have him do 3 rounds before I actually take the pictures, because that's gonna give a more accurate representation of what he's gonna look like. He'll actually have a pump, the muscles start to contract, and as he flexes more, it's pulling more glycogen into the muscles there. So we'll notice him get harder, and he may even start excreting water, but he doesn't seem to sweat too much. I think he's gonna be 208.4.
Let's go see.
Go take your weight.
208.6.
You're off, John. Damn
That's good enough.
Close enough.
I'll take my pity back to my computer. I'm prepping my meal, but we have Danielle here, personal shaver,
Yeah.
tanning expertise. So no, she's gonna help Sean take a bath here with the dish soap that our Airbnb applied or gave us. So great host. But this is the secret. This is actually going to help. And do you want to actually explain what you were just saying about the hair tanning
Yep.
and everything?
Oh, so the dish soap will strip all of the oils off the skin, so the tan's gonna stick.
Mm-hmm.
So we shouldn't have any running tan. The tan should stick perfectly to the skin.
If you've ever washed your hands with dish soap, then you know that they get extremely dry after, right? And so that's basically what this is going to do, is it's just going to pull all the oils and stuff out of the skin and make it so the tan sticks perfectly. Ideally, we would have done this probably leading up 2 days, but this is something that I just told him. So yeah, we'll do that, and then Danielle's gonna help shave Sean. And I honestly, I don't know how people do this if they don't have a significant other. I don't know if they're like going to like the front desk at the hotel and they're like, hey, can you shave my back? Like, shave my butthole, basically. I want to see the man, Kenny. And I'm just gonna leave it at that till we get there. Because if you don't know who
Turn
Kenny
left
is
on Post Avenue.
in this
Then
sport,
turn right on Broadway Avenue.
at this
Then
point,
turn right on Broadway Avenue. Turn left on Tonopah Avenue. Then turn left on...
am I to the point yet where I'm waddling?
Yeah.
I feel like it. I don't know. But all the Pittsburgh National shows are held here. TCM Nationals, Pittsburgh Pro, North Americans. This is like the venue, right? I mean, they do a great job at making sure the competitors don't mess up with any of the tan. But I'll be extremely excited tomorrow when this is, you know, kind of said and done. We're able to get some really cool shots of Sean up there with the cityscape in the background. Yeah, so we just saw Kenny. He hammered Sean. Kind of all the same things that we've been reiterating to him, but it's always nice to kind of hear it from someone else, right? I think that's the biggest thing, right? Because Danielle's hit Sean about it, I've hit it, Cam got here, and now he's seeing it as well. And there's just small, fine tweaks to posing where sometimes you think you're doing it, especially within like bodybuilding or classic where you have, you know, 8, 9 mandatories. It can be a bit much, but at the end of the day, this is a national show, and if you want to be a professional, you need to act like a professional. And I think that's something that probably gets missed quite a bit, is a lot of people have these amazing physiques and don't practice posing at all. And then you just look, for lack of better words, like an asshole. Because you just went through a 16, 20-week prep and you fall short because you can't present yourself. Like, that's got to be the worst feeling in the world. And I've been that asshole before. But we're going to get Sean checked in, weighed in. Fingers crossed, class D, they hide him with the right class, and then yeah, we'll update you here shortly. We just got back, and first off, it's always great to see Kenny. You know, he's very interesting, very nitpicky, very on top of every single detail within the posing, and that's something that as an athlete, as a coach, as an individual, you can love, but it can also make you a little stir crazy. Especially if you're that type of individual who starts to overanalyze things. So at the end of the day, and I know that like, and Danielle, I was gonna ask you about this as well, is like Sean was like, well, now my legs are starting to feel heavy and stuff, right? And I was like, even Kenny was like, no, that's not gonna fly. Listen, you're hitting it fine, right? But sometimes you have to feed into the mentality of your athlete. You have to feed into just you as an individual of what's going to keep you comfortable. And if you don't wanna hear that, or you don't wanna think about it, and whatever's gonna get you there, I think that's going to be the most beneficial at that moment, because just like Kenny said, there is individuals who will overpose. As I already talked about, people who are not posing. There's people who start posing so much, they see themselves so much, or every time they walk into the mirror, right? We all probably know that individual. It's like they need to hit an ab thigh every time, and they start overposing to the point that now each time they're making small adjustments to think that it looks better, but it could just look better because they're looking at a different angle, or they're looking at a different mirror, different lighting, and different things like that. So yeah, I think right now the biggest thing is going to be keeping Sean level-headed. He needs to ride the bid line, and I think that that's consistent across the board for everyone. You don't want to be running into the shows, I don't want to say like too confident, but you can be overly confident, and you just want to go in knowing that you've done everything that you possibly can. There's nothing left that you could have done, and just be there. Don't be comparing yourself. Don't be looking at other competitors. And I was already talking to Sean about this last night of like, when he goes to get tan, listen, it's just you. Put the blinders up. You're just here to get tan. And yeah, so if there's two things that I could probably say is like, one, just always ride the bid line, okay? Not too high, not too low. And two, whatever's going to be best for you that day, do that. If you need to pose less, if you need to pose more, if you need to sit more, if you need to not see competitors, stay off Instagram, whatever's going to keep you level-headed and apply to the first thing I said, which is riding the midline, do that.
You want an honest man, but you don't understand. I won't be here when you wake up again.
that right now. Yeah, do that now, and then let's get it with this meal here. Okay. I would say the most stressful day, but like, I don't know. It's not stressful in the sense of like, I don't know, right? Like game day, you're not like, it's almost like anxious. Like you're like, oh, like I want to get it going, right? And right now it's like what I call the hurry up and wait.
Right.
And so typically, you know, as I do this more and more, it's great because I get more and more confident and comfortable with the peaks and stuff. And this is why, honestly, it's the mock peaks are not so much for the clients. They're more for me, so that I'm not like second guessing everything, and then I still end up second guessing everything. And so like manipulating water. And I think that's probably like the best in the world are always thinking about they're reassessing and what could they have done to make things better. And if so, as an athlete or a coach, if you're not looking back and you're like, man, we won, it was awesome. How could I have, you know, like Kobe says, how could I have ran the score up even more? Then I don't think you truly want what you may think that you want. And so, like this morning, you know, I made a judgment call on manipulating water a little bit more with Sean. And for like 30 minutes, I sat there with that decision in my head. And I was just sitting there kind of rocking back and forth. Like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? And ultimately, that's why you hire a coach, right? When people tell me they prep themselves, I'm like, you're a psycho. There's something wrong, because I get so emotionally invested in my clients' preps. I couldn't imagine when I'm, you know, prep brain, like distraught and all this stuff. So, yeah, but I am still distraught. I'm taking and putting my meals together for, I'm expecting is probably I'm only going to need one. But if I could give any advice to anyone, always be prepared. Take extra food with you, because you never know what's going to happen. If you're out with your girlfriend at the movies and you get stuck in traffic, and then before you know it, you're 3 hours behind on a meal. So better be prepared. I threw everything together. The work's done. Sean looks sick. I'll show a transformation out of Cam, like clip it, like right there. From his last national showing to like 18 days ago to now. So we brought him in 8 pounds lighter. He's significantly tighter, which is the feedback. So I'm excited. We're going to throw this together. We both got to get coffee. Otherwise, I can't function. So I don't know how I'm making decisions at the moment. My sole focus is like, I need to go pro, right? I've done 6 national shows, you know, I just did a 20-week prep. I've given up things with my wife. I've given up things with family. I've missed holidays, birthdays, all this stuff. And I wasn't present enough in that moment of like, man, I'm here. Because when you go to a pro stage, it's not the same. You already know who's going to be there, right? The list comes out a week in advance. So this moment here, you don't know who's going to show up, but you've done everything you possibly can, right? No stone was left unturned. We did everything. You know, we sucked you down another 8 pounds. We took the feedback. So now, like, remember, like, this could be the last national show you do. Again, you'll never be an amateur. And you start from the bottom again.
Yeah.
And then if you, God forbid, it goes the way that we're expecting, now it's not 15 pounds of tissue you have to put on. You got literally, it's like almost 25, right? So that gap just got even bigger. So just be present here. Like the anxiousness, that's good, because that means you like, it's something that you want, right? If you didn't care, if you didn't feel those things, it wouldn't be real, right? So just embrace it. The work's done. Now it's time to just enjoy, right? We're gonna get some food in you. You'll pump up and just ride the midline, right?
I feel good. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fucking go. I feel like I've gave everything I can. I've did everything I could do. Now it's time to go out here and display what we've all worked so hard for. And
Yep.
I want this shit. I want this shit bad.
Yep.
So
Game time.
it's time to fucking go.
that was a big class. So that's why I think you started getting harder as you started posing, because you probably pumped a little bit too early, and then they had to go through everyone, right? So, yeah, just take your time. Like Kenny said, fucking sit into it, enjoy the moment. Like, and when that guy's fighting you and they're elbowing you and shit, fucking step forward or fucking nudge them. Like, don't let them mess up your pose. Sorry, scatterbrain. Yeah, so we split center. I don't know if Cam got footage of that. I just honestly blacked out. It was like when you play sports, and I was asking him, I was like, dude, did you hear me? I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I usually don't yell because I'm like, I don't want to be that asshole. But honestly, at the end of the day, if that's going to help my athletes and they're going to feel more confident, and I know for a fact every time that I would hear Andrea screaming or people like that, like, hey, you need to do this, smile, whatever, it definitely calmed my nerves. So I'll look like an idiot. I don't care if the people around me like it or not. You know what? If my athlete's going to do better because of that, whatever it takes. We're close. It was a top 8, I think, 8 call out, and he's splitting center. We got another chance here at 35 now, so we did 35 and 40. Yeah, and like and these moments, like, shit. Cam made me force down to me. It was like, dude, don't you run behind. And I was like, oh shit. If Andrea was here, she'd be saying the same thing. So I forced down a meal. I almost threw up. Not because it was so much food, because I'm so nervous. But yeah, it's just awesome to have those feelings, right? Because as I was saying earlier, it makes you know that it's real. If you don't care, you don't have those nerves, you don't have those like anxiousness. It's like the silliest thing to say, but like the butterflies almost. But yeah, so we're gonna go look again. I just looked at him, told him to get a little bit of water so it starts pulling into the muscles, things like that. Some sodium, really dry vascularity. And he's got harder as he posed, and that's the most common thing, like especially with these big national shows, guys. It's so hard. You have to really time it right, because his class, we were expecting, like the class before him had 4 people, and this class there was 2 call outs of 8. And at that point, when Classic and they're doing individual presentations and they all have 30 seconds, and he was the last one to go. So I do think that kind of helped us, because since he was the last one to present, he also stayed right on stage versus having to pump up, present, come back, wait 10 minutes, and then go back out. So I do think it actually helped, but that's why the timing is so big. And for these national shows, I think it's huge that your coach is here. When you have the regional show and there's like 6, 7, 8, even 12 people in your class, but other classes may have 5, it doesn't make such a big difference. So we just looked at him. Kenny looked at him, said his posing was great. I was screaming. I think at one point Kenny told me, shut up. So, trying to get caught up on my progress here. So this is 2:30, meal 2. That's not normal, but luckily it's a deload week, and I'm gonna take till basically Friday off from the gym. 4 days straight will be great. I've been dealing with some aches and pains and stuff, so it's awesome to be able to be here and just focus on Sean. Squeeze out the right hamstring more. Lock that down, squeeze. Yeah. We're good. I'm happy. Now we do the hurry up and wait, which is like sucks, because right now he's splitting center. So that means for those of you who have not competed, potentially want to compete, if you're not sure what that means, there's 8 people in his first call out. So when there's an even number, there's someone who's holding the box or the middle, which is typically that first place. When there's an even number, did I say when there's an odd number?
Yeah.
Okay, so when there's an odd number, there's 5, right? So it'd be 1 in the middle, 2 to the left, 3 to the right, 4 and 5, and so on. So when there's 8, it's even, so there's no one that's holding the box. They're literally splitting the box there. So we gotta make sure we come back tighter, better. I think what we're gonna be aiming to do with Sean is, because he's not having any more water, he's gonna continue to pee and excrete more water, and he'll get tighter as the day goes on, which we're already seeing just from these photos here, which is ultimately the goal. And then as he has more food, we'll push more glycogen. But what I may have him do is like a shot of espresso or something like that before we go on tonight. And that will, one, we all know that caffeine, coffee is a natural diuretic, so we're not gonna have to use anything else. And then 2, that's also a stimulant, which if you guys have ever had pre-workout poops, that's what we're gonna be ultimately trying to do, because if you don't have water, you can't digest food. So we wanna have something there, and I just talked to him about this. We want to make sure that he is having a bowel movement. I don't want to be causing a traffic jam basically within his stomach with all the food that we're slamming. So we're gonna monitor that, and yeah, we'll see. And then now go celebrate with Danielle. You can do that. You'll have the fucking rest of your life to go celebrate. You're getting married soon, so you can go do that whenever. When you're here to win the whole fucking show, because guess what? In the pros, there's no fucking height classes. So it don't matter. You can't duck no one from C class or B class or A. It don't fucking matter. Right?
Right.
You got to be the best that day.
Right.
Period. So you need to be the best today. Today's that day. Looking at Sean for the 100th time today.
First of all, it's the 113th time today.
But this is the fun, like, boring part. For me, I don't mind it, right? Because I'm not the one posing. But for him, I know it's like, damn, dude. When I was here at North Americans with Andrea, we were sit here the entire day. They didn't go on for prejudging until 4. Okay? And the bathroom around there, that's how I knew there was a bathroom. Because I would have my 2 girls, they would go, eat, then 90 minutes later, weigh themselves, come back, have their suits on, I'd look at them, and then they go back and change, and then they just sit here the entire day. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go up there. That's where the lighting's at.
Like, so I'm extremely blessed, fortunate for you and the team that is surrounding me. But like you said, it's exciting. Now I'm just like, we've been going through it like I'm like,
Dude,
oh fucking shit, like
because I was doing it.
like
Moses doing it, right?
like I'm like, what the fuck, like so, but let's finish it strong.
We're here, gonna go do finals. At this point, the work is done, and we're just happy. We're just, I wouldn't say happy. We are lucky to be here, right? We're lucky that
Blessed.
the biggest problem that we have is, are we gonna win a pro card, right? And that's the one thing, like, you're always thankful because this sport is way too fucking expensive. A lot of people like are asking for people to cover their flights and stuff, man. If I couldn't personally do that. I couldn't be asking someone else if I don't, like, in my opinion, if you don't have the rest of your life straight, you shouldn't be doing this. You should get that taken care of first. And I wish I could go back and tell my younger self that, because I was the broke 25-year-old asking my mom to pay for my entry fee.
Yeah.
So, and it's, you know, Sean said it last time when we were at Universe. He was like, you know, right now he's coming to his own because he's financially stable. He has a supporting wife, which is probably the foundation to being able to do all of this. Having a supporting partner who will cook all of his food, get up and take check-in photos just to take the ease off of him. Yeah, to take the ease off of him. So, I you know, like, this channel's dedicated to me and Andrea. So you already know I couldn't do anything without her. But to hear that coming from him, it's just showing, like, and I've only known Sean for about a year, but
So no, a year and a half. We've been
year and a half, something like that. Yeah, but to be able to see, like, how much that's stabilized everything and solidify these preps, and he's communicated that to me. It's so, go find a good woman.
Second place, number 129, Deshaun Baker.
Second place. I'm not throwing up a peace sign. Yeah, shit. Yeah.
What is this feeling like?
I mean, it's not a disappointment, you know. The man right there is crushing Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. So good.
You know, as I said earlier, this is my first year with Sean. You know, did we want the best outcome would have been a pro card, right? And unfortunately, we compete in a sport where we give our faith in someone else's hands. This isn't basketball. It's not even a solo sport like tennis where you control the outcome completely, right? Like, all the work was done leading up to this. We brought him in at his all-time best. He was 205 pounds with a weight cutoff of 220. So, yeah, we were outsized pretty noticeably. Now, I will say that we got some feedback and that the classic shape is there, the potential's there. We just need more tissue. And I already told Sean that going into this. And he said this is the most conditioned he's ever been. So he got down to 207 last time. I could only imagine where he would have been if he was this conditioned. So how I feel, it sucks. It always sucks. Losing isn't fun. I don't do this to lose, right? Like if I wouldn't have prepped him if I didn't think we would have had a chance to win. And I've pulled people out of preps. I pulled people out of just because they can't stick to it. He executed on his end. He held up his end. And at the end of the day, like, we weren't the best guy that day. And it's okay, right? Like, I think right now, and I'm going to let him and Danielle go and do their thing. That's like, Cam asked me earlier if we were going to go to dinner with them. At the end of the day, like, I always want my clients to go and take care of their significant other because I've been there. I don't want to see no one after my show. All I want to see is I want time with loved ones that have been neglected for the last 20 weeks or however long it's been. So he needs to take that moment and give back to Danielle, get away from social media, get away from the phone, from everyone, and just give her time. Because if he wants to be able to continue to do this,
I need her.
Yeah, as I touched on earlier. So, yeah, I don't know. How you feel?
I'm extremely blessed and thankful. It was the best luck I've ever had, hands down. I need to get back. I'm ready to get back to work. See what I got to do. Know what I got to do to get better. Take the rest. Take the next year and just grow. Maybe we'll see how it looks in 9 months. Maybe so do the same show again next year. Come back for redemption. But right now I just want to enjoy my family and take time and figure out the next plan. That's it.
There you go. That's it.
So, it can be done. We did this in a year, so I would be curious to see what him executing to my standards now, because he knows what's expected of him and the high standard that I hold in my athletes. So anyone who's watching this and you're going to inquire, if you don't fucking execute like you're in the military, don't come here.
No half-assing.
Yeah.
No half-assing. Don't come here.
Yeah, you can ask any of the people I work with. I have a very high standard for how I expect check-ins, how I expect you to execute in the gym, the whole process. And I'm lucky enough that I have Sean, who is ex-military, and that vibe just meshes perfectly. But yeah, that's a wrap. Pittsburgh, me and Cam are out tomorrow.